easiest way to post a video on here because I don't know. Listen, if Instagram was easier to work, I'd post more on here. But it's too much work to do stuff and say stuff that isn't gonna get recognized. You know what I'm saying? Like, content creators and stuff be editing their videos and all that stuff to get their points across and shit just for nobody to listen to what they saying. So yeah, basically stick with me real quick. I'm gonna try to be quick in this, whatever. But if Jesus went into the wilderness, right, to be tempted by the snake, and the snake is supposed to be Satan, and Satan is supposed to be temptation. So technically, Jesus is just fighting temptation. And if Jesus is just fighting temptation, you can metaphorically say that Jesus is just in his own mind. So now let's say that Jesus is in his own mind, fighting temptation in the wilderness. He's hungry. He knows that he can turn this rock into bread, but he shouldn't because he's not actually hungry. You know, he's fighting his inner demons, his inner battles, right? And we can call those inner battles physical, or we can call it inner battles like the inside of our mind where we're talking. However you want to visualize Satan in that moment, you can visualize him, all right? The whole point is he's there. And that visualization is either in his mind or physical, however you want to visualize it. But Jesus is fighting Satan on the temptation of turning this rock into bread. On another note, Jesus is a fucking airbender. The dude is over here playing with matter. He's manipulating water. He's manipulating rock. He's manipulating the air. Like, he's just like walking on water. I don't like, you say manipulating water if you want to or not. Either you manipulating the air under your feet or you walking on water. But Jesus causes the mountains to move. I mean, he's bringing people, like, y'all say he was miracles, but to me, Jesus was literally messing with matter. The dude controlled matter, and that's beyond a miracle, right? He also said that that's something that we could do, that we are like him, that him and God are one. We can get into all that in a completely different conversation. But I was thinking to myself, if Jesus is sitting here fighting with himself in the desert with his powers because he know he can turn this rock into bread and he's hungry, should he eat and just turn the rock into bread? Then you can be gluttonful. Just turn every rock into bread. You know what I'm saying? And that made me think, like, if we were in a society that truly followed God the way that the Bible wants us to, not only would we be aliens, we'd have superpowers. I don't care what people say about the Holy Ghost and everything. We're like, in today's age, whether you like it or not, Jesus was the fucking Superman and had superpowers by being a good, like, he was Superman. We can be Superman if we do what he said to do. But people mix up his word on what to do and say that what he was doing was metaphorical. You know what I'm saying? If the miracles that Jesus was doing is fake, then that whole thing is fake. And if that whole thing is fake, religion is not real. And if religion is not real, science is not real, because it's all man-made. But if we can trust that science is fact, a bunch of people coming together saying that they think that this is right, if we can trust a bunch of people coming together, coming to a conclusion, then we can trust the Bible, because that's still a bunch of people coming together, coming to a conclusion. So I'm like, ain't no way in hell Ain't no way in hell we about to have true prophets in this day and age if people can't even put down McDonald's. People can't even put down their phone. We can't even distinguish the hunger in ourselves and the anger in ourselves. And we want to comprehend a man going through a battle that has superpower. Like we can't even comprehend fasting. Majority of the people in the world can't comprehend fasting. Yet we want to comprehend having powers and saying no to your powers. We want to put ourselves on the same level, headspace as Jesus when we can't even. And I'm going to post this just like this. Because there's nothing else to talk about, y'all. There's nothing to talk about. What are we really going to be talking about? Science continues to lie to us. We continue to lie to us. But for what? And I ain't gonna lie. I ain't finna lie right now. I ain't finna lie. The devil's helping Jesus. God, Yahweh, Elohim, praise be to him. Whoever y'all want to say, however you want to call him. God, Elohim, Jesus. Because in the Bible, according to the Bible, the God that created this world is dead. According to the Bible. And people are like, what? You'll be like, what? God himself, when the angels were coming on to the daughters of man, God himself said his spirit is not going to dwell with man forever. When he was talking to Abraham and him, God even said he wasn't going to be here forever. When Jesus came himself, Jesus proved God wasn't going to be here forever, because the whole time Jesus was telling you he is here to prove the realness of his Father, and that his Father sent him here, and that in the final days, God will open up the heavens. God will give the key to Satan. Jesus describes how he will be the one to open the heavens and gives the key to Satan. No, Jesus does not know the D-Day. Only God knows the D-Day. Jesus will know the D-Day when Jesus takes the throne. We do not go to God anymore. We now go to Jesus. God has handed the world to his son. Hey, I don't understand this no more. God clearly proves he doesn't understand it no more in the Bible. And y'all and I know how I'm talking right now, but it's because if you read the word and you read the way they're describing it, like God is taught, like the God in the beginning of the Bible, how God grows in love with us the entire time. You can't tell me that the God that created this world that has all of this sorrow, that's crying all the time because the people he created just won't love him. The God that's literally begging and pleading with a certain people to stop eating and killing each other. To me, I'm sorry, like the way I look at it, yeah, Jesus came down and Jesus was black. I'm a descendant of fucking Jesus. I'm not a chosen people. I'm not an original people. Yeah, black, my people are stuck up people, but there's people that are more stuck up than us. There are people that care about more jewelry than us. Black people, we argue all the time about who the chosen people are, but it's scary. White people do all this shit in the Bible that the chosen people were told not to do. The praising different gods, the caring about jewelry. Yeah, black people, we do it, but white people do it to the fullest. To the fullest. They still our culture. They still our culture to the fullest. They go beyond, above and beyond with that shit. And we want to claim it, bruh. What are y'all talking about? Like who? Like when you really read these books and you are really looking at the demographic of what's going on. Shit, there were 12 tribes of Israel, from my understanding. 12. 12. 12 tribes of God's chosen people. Of different nations. These are nations, y'all. Like God literally took his covenant and gave it from tribe to tribe. Had the tribes slaughtering each other. We look at it and we're like, oh, your God did this and your God did that. Are you forgetting that my God was your God? My God was your God. The chosen tribe took the covenant from another tribe. And it's in the book. It's in the book. So I don't know. And then people can go down and they can be like, but this tribe was this tribe and this tribe was bad. No, it's the fact, the bigger picture. God, the Almighty, took the covenant from one tribe and gave it to another. He didn't say it was because they were wrong. It's because the other tribe followed him closer. The other tribe followed him better. The other tribe followed him better. I'm saying it this way because I don't know what in the sentence you need to pick out the fact that both tribes were following him. Both tribes were following him. Both tribes were following him. One tribe did it better, so he made them take the covenant. Now let's go down history. The tribe that had the covenant taken, who did they turn into? What did they turn into? So if we go down history, are the gods really different? Are these angels really different? Are these entities really different? No. They're all the same, different languages. And the different languages are the different cultures. Islamic people is the ethnicity. That's the culture. The religion is different. Arabian people, that's their culture. Being Muslim is the religion. Being Hinduism is the religion. It's the religion. Indian is the fucking ethnicity. Arabic is the ethnicity. Arabian is not a religion. Being Indian is not a religion. Being Islamic is not a religion. An Iranian, being from Iran, is not a religion. An Indian. There's even types of Indian people. Like you can break, like you come to America, we got black and white. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You go to India or Iran, there's the different demographic of people that are in there. But in America, we have black and white. Throughout those black and white people, a lot of those black people in America don't like to be classified as black. They like to be classified as Dominican. They like to be classified as Mexican. They like to be classified as Indian. They like to be classified as Arabian. In America, those white people don't like to be white. They like to be classified as British. They like to be classified as European. You see what I'm saying? They like to be classified as French. You see what I'm saying here? You see what I'm saying here? They don't call black a religion. It should be at this fucking point. They don't call white a religion. Definitely should be at this point. But fuck, people. 14 minutes is crazy. I'm gonna just post this to YouTube. I'm gonna have to. 14 minutes is crazy. But yeah. I don't agree with nobody. I don't agree with the way that Christians view the Bible, because I read the Bible and the Bible tells me I'm supposed to be a fucking Super Saiyan, and I don't see no motherfucking niggas flying around here walking on water like we're supposed to. I don't give a damn what you say. If you say you read the Bible and you cannot walk on water and you're supposed to be a true Christian, I am not following shit you say. These brothers that are supposed to be the true Israelites that are walking up and down these streets, brother, no. Y'all telling me y'all reading the Bible and the Bible says that we supposed to be somewhere discreet, somewhere low key, worshiping, building the power we need to build so we can be ready for the actual war. Because we gonna need niggas that are able to walk on water if we gonna win this. For real. So when I see groups getting together and they not doing what the Bible tells us we supposed to do when we get together, I'm scared. I'm scared because now I think that y'all falling. There is some truth. There is some truth. There is a lot of truth. But then at the same time, what the fuck is the truth? Where's the truth? Because y'all wearing these little phylacteries, but ain't nobody doing shit. Jesus himself said the kingdom is supposed to be multicolored. God separated Babylon to spread the word and give everybody different languages so they would be confused for a fucking reason. He still gave himself to all of them, made sure that all of them were connected. No, there is not supposed to just be a one people, because if there's just supposed to be a one people, then there would just only be one type of flower. There would just only be one type of fucking star. There would just only be one type of grain of sand. There would just only be one type of grain of salt. There would just only be one type of grain of bacteria. There would just only be one type of motherfucking human. God is omnipotent, all-knowing. He knows the past, present, and future. He knew that the flood was going to happen. He knew that the angels were going to come down and have sex with humanity. He knew that we were going to get mixed up in everything. So if he knew all of this, why create humans in the first place? Why go through the headache? Why go through regret? If you know the past, present, and future, why go through regret? Why give regret the time? You created angels, and you allow humans when they die to become like angels. He created the earth. He created everything before he created human beings. The very last thing he created was human beings. If you know that it's not going to work, even I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You're omnipotent and you know that this is going to get bad, but you know that the future outcome is good. The future outcome is your beautiful creation completely destroying itself? No, don't make sense. God even said when he had his regret, the only thing he regretted was making humans on the earth. Not everything else, not the lightness, not the darkness. Come on, not the firmament, not the fowl, not the creepy crawlies, not the beast of the field. The one thing he fucking regretted was the humans. So God, in your omnipotent knowing, why not just not create the humans? Yeah, you wanted somebody to till the field, but everything was kind of chilling before humans were created. The Bible even proves that, because God created everything and saw that it was good. He even said he saw it was good. He created it, saw it was good. Therefore, the day had passed. But and then I'm gonna read it, and there are gonna be people that are like, no, this, and it's like, bruh, like, are we reading the same thing? Are we reading the same thing? Because people say, don't take it literal, it's metaphorically and stuff. And it's like, bruh, okay, if I take the Bible as a fucking metaphor, the things that y'all take literal should not be that way because we're taking it as a motherfucking metaphor. Right? Right. But you don't. So if you can take that literal, I should be able to take everything literal. And I should take what is a metaphor as a metaphor. You know what I'm saying? If we're talking about people, you cannot give personality to inanimate objects. Or is that an onomatopoeia? No, metaphor is saying something else when you mean something else. Yes, that is a metaphor. Fucking metaphor. Oh my God. Metaphor. You say something else and you fucking, you're trying to describe something else. The sky was as beautiful as a fucking newborn baby. Fucking newborn baby is a metaphor for the sky. How beautiful the sky is. Or the sky was as beautiful as a fucking a red rose. If you believe, but that's if you believe the red rose is beautiful. You know, it all comes down to fucking preference. You're not gonna understand the metaphor if you don't have a morality background of a preference. Like, what is your preference? But your preference is based off of your likings, your enjoyment. What is your enjoyment based off of? Your belief of what's right or wrong. Because when you're in the right, you feel happy. When you're wrong, you feel bad. What is right and wrong based off of? Your moral implications, your moral balance. What you believe is right or wrong. What is your right and wrong based off of? You're like, you can't be an atheist and say that you don't believe in absolutely nothing and then read the Bible and try to understand its metaphors when you have no true moral backing. You don't believe in a right or wrong. You can't say that I don't believe in a soul and a higher power. Like, if you believe that killing somebody is wrong, why? You know, like, we can break down a moral basis of what it means to be good and what it means to be bad. You know what I'm saying? Which would still come down to a moral hiatus, how you were raised, who you were raised around, what you were taught to be good or bad, based off of these people's moral background. What do they base their moral background? You know what I'm saying? It's a big ass circle. Ah! But, you know, who am I? Who am I to point these things out but a fucking human? And then we're like, humans talk to each other and people be like, no, I'm not even. Now we're getting off topic. Yeah, I know the whole thing and now we're getting off topic yet. Because I'm going to throw personal thing. I was about to throw some personal stuff into it. Like, I'm not speaking personally. And I was about to throw like personal things, like shit that I went through, and that's not fair. That's not fair to people because I'm speaking in a broad statement. You know what I'm saying? A broad terminology, because this is going on with everybody, everywhere, not just me. This is everywhere, bro. Everywhere. And that's the sad part. There's like, if there are elites, they're fucking human, bro. They're fucking human. The fucking vampires, they're human. People that eat flesh, they're human. They're fucking human. Witchcraft is real, is proven to be real. People can use magic. People can pray to other gods to get power. We can pray to our God also to get a true power, but the power we get is literally the power of creation. We don't get a mimic power. That's why our power is so much greater, because our power is not a mimic power. Our power is from the power of creation itself. And I don't see nobody using the power of creation itself. So, yeah, neither am I though. Neither am I. But that's the thing. Like, I have to go do what Jesus did, but I can't do that, yo. You can't. There's like, how do you exit this world and get away from all of this when nobody's trying to do that? How do you truly get right with God and become one when the world is literally fighting, not only fighting God, like, bruh, like if Jesus did show up, if Jesus did show up today, I don't think black people would even accept him. I don't think anybody would accept him. And that's scary, bro. Like the way things be happening, like people had me believing at a certain point that the new prophecy is only for black people. Then people had me believing it was only for black and brown people. Then I had to go, okay, I'm gonna research my fucking self and do the research myself. It was so bad that I'm reading the word and God saying his kingdom is multicolored and everything. I'm so distraught by the world that I'm thinking God's talking about everybody, but he only talking about black and brown people in every race. Like, white people still just don't get to go. I'm realizing like I'm being rerouted in racism. It's being turned the other way around. Now I'm thinking white people don't belong. Y'all the fake ones. And I'm like, wait a minute. The angels were created and they were good. Humans were created and they were good. Nobody was ever supposed to be bad. So where does good and bad come from? Even the light and darkness that was first created in the beginning of the world was declared as good. God even declared the darkness he saw as night and then later declared it as a light because he created a lesser light to guide the light of the night. Which means the darkness he saw in the beginning that he labeled as night was light. But hey, who am I but reading and trying to understand the metaphors that are in it and taking them literal? God said there's an evilness that dwells in humans. He didn't say a good or bad. He just said an evilness that dwells in humans. You know what I'm saying? Just because you feel a downness doesn't mean that that's sadness, doesn't mean that that's anger or depression. Science roots that as sadness because they don't understand it. But in order for them to understand it, they have to root it as something. I'm going to call this colory picture. I'm going to hook you up to a bunch of electrodes that pulsate off of the electrodes that pulsate in your body. What are you talking about, doctor? Well, you have natural electrodes that pulsate through your mind. And I made a machine that can detect those pulsations. And it's going to give me a certain color on the screen that shows me your brain's popping off hard when you're thinking about something. I'm going to show you a picture of a dead dog. Now I have 5 people, right? I'm going to show them pictures of a dead dog. And I'm going to see what pulsates. Boom, 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 boom. This part of your mind is pulsating real hard when you see this picture of this dead dog. Now, everybody's mind is pulsating, but it's pulsating differently. But everybody's like pulsating around the same area. But everybody's pulsating differently because everybody has different emotions towards it. But the same part of the mind's pulsating. Everybody's having somewhat of the same correlations of cluster pulsation. We're going to label that, but we don't know it yet. Now let's describe what you're thinking. I see what your brain's doing. Now I want to know what you're thinking when you see this. Well, I don't know. I kind of feel like, ugh. Well, what's that feeling? Because we don't have words to describe the feelings yet. We don't know what sadness is yet, right? We don't know what happiness is yet, right? Because we have to put a label on what happiness is. we're just like, I feel like a type of feeling. Okay, all right. We're gonna call it sadness. We're gonna say that's sad. The definition of sad. Sad. S-A-D. Sad. Sad. Sod. Sod. You know what I'm saying? Like the human pronunciation, like what did they really call that feeling at first? Because we just know it as sad now. But what was it? But we're gonna label it sadness. Now we're gonna label this somewhat cluster that everybody's feeling as sadness. We're gonna label that as what you're seeing when you're seeing a dead dog, right? We're gonna do that for every single emotion at one time. And because of the fact that we want to break down the human body and we want to control things, now I know that when you see this, it pops off this cluster. When I do this, it affects this. When this happened, it affects this. When this happened, it affects this. Science. Fucking, I'm gonna leave it at that. Because I can go all fucking day on just a fucking ramblance and try to break down my personal personification of what the world is. But, yeah. Fucking, I'm gonna post this as an episode to the podcast. And, yeah. All right.